Good morning, beloveds. It was 80 degrees in the house on Saturday because it got up to 84 outside. And then we had a cold front come through, and my heat is running this morning. My heat set at 68. So somebody is being very clingy because she doesn't like it when it's cold. So, she likes to lay across my husband's shoulders. Mine aren't quite broad enough for her to do that, but she's going to try. This is Sugar. After a year, I'm sure you guys are starting to recognize my cats. So, all right. But we are getting close to finishing up the month of March, which means we've got like 3 days left, 4 days left. I think Wednesday is the last day in March. So 3 days. And we will be done with 365, Science of Mind. The good news is I'm not quitting. I'm simply going to move on to 365 Days of Richer Living, Daily Inspiration by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. So, and if you want to see any of these, all 365 of them, although I'm still, the last week in September, the files are huge, so they're taking forever to download and upload. And I still owe October. I've moved them. They're still on the Facebook page, but they're getting kind of hard to find. But I have moved them to the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel. So, just so that you know that that's where they have gone. They are not going away. But let's see what today is. And the good thing about the YouTube channel is that they are organized by playlists by month. So if you want to hear like the month of faith or the month of, I've labeled it so it'll have the month, the year, so that you'll know, okay, was this 2020 or was into 2021, and whatever the month was. And then once you get in the playlist, then they're organized, then their day and title. So if there's a particular one you're looking for, i.e. today is March 29th, and our title is Physical Perfection. When we speak of the physical perfection, we are not saying that no one is sick or no one has pain. We are merely implying that of necessity, there is an essence of perfection at the center of everything, including the physical body. If that which is whole within itself were not already here, neither medicine, psychology, nor affirmative prayer could in any way benefit us physically. For whatever the medication or manipulation or emotional adjustment or prayer or affirmation may do, it does not and cannot create life. It may only reveal it. This is what we mean when we say that every organ, action, and function of our physical body is rooted in a divine life. And in this divine life, there is no congestion, no wrong action. There is always perfect circulation, assimilation, and elimination. Through such statements, we are trying to gather the sense of the greater reality. Trying to sense the greater reality. Believing as we do in all of the healing arts that help humanity, we definitely affirm that towards which they and we all reach, the spiritual center of things. Therefore, I affirm that my body is the body of right ideas. It is now the body of God. Every organ, action, or function of it is in harmony. Whatever does not belong to this body is eliminated. Whatever does not belong is removed. All the energy and all the action and power and vitality there is in the universe is flowing through this divine creation now. My word does actually eliminate that which does not belong. It does establish the action of that harmony that already exists. There is one life, perfect, harmonious, whole, complete. That life is my life now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today. And then the Bible quote is, according to your faith, be it unto you. And that is Matthew 9:29. Okay, so how does it make you feel to think about your body as a divine creation? Does it make you want to treat it a little bit better? Feed it a little bit better? Exercise it a little bit better? Because he used divine creation with the capital D and the capital C. Anytime I read these, I'm always reminded of one of my favorite classes in ministerial school. Amit Goswami is an interesting man. He's actually a nuclear physicist, but he's Indian, raised in the Hindu tradition, and his goal is to meld science and metaphysics, which is effectively what we in Science of Mind do, metaphysics, and medicine medicine and metaphysics. So he wrote a book called The Quantum Doctor. If you haven't read it, it's phenomenal. And it goes on to, it explains what we talk about, that center of ourselves where nothing has ever been wrong. And then we talk about that perfect idea of ourselves, God's idea of ourselves. Well, when Dr. Goswami talks about that, he talks about the bliss body. You ready? And there she goes. He talks about the bliss body. And you can think about the bliss body as the blueprint of the perfect you, the whole you, the complete you, the you that works perfectly on all levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, all of that. So the bliss body, God's idea of you, is the blueprint. And so what spiritual practice is, especially when you are focused upon healing, then what you are doing in spiritual practice is you're going and looking at the blueprint. You are going to have a look at the blueprint and you go, oh, okay, so this, if I make this adjustment, this is going to work a little bit better. It's a very mechanical description, which one of my teachers, Reverend Raz, he was an architect, so that probably a little influenced on that. And I have done drafting, and I was in engineering, so it makes sense to me. It's like, oh, there is a perfect blueprint of the way each and every one of us can work. And that's the operative word, can. And so we do these spiritual practices, and we do these physical practices, and we do these emotional practices and mental practices, and we go to doctors because the doctors help us adjust the material form to be more in line with that blueprint, that bliss body. So that's kind of where I go when we talk about physical perfection. It's like there is a perfect idea of you. God has a perfect idea of you, or spirit, if you want to use that word. Spirit has a perfect idea of you. And we can make adjustments to get there. And how many adjustments you want to make, that's up to you. And right off, Ernest is not denying that there is sickness and that there is pain. When we speak of physical perfection, we are not saying that no one is sick and no one has pain. We are merely implying that of necessity, there is an essence of perfection at the center of everything, including the physical body. So that's what I'm talking about, the bliss body, the perfect idea of you. And we all know, anybody who's ever built anything, and I would imagine almost all of us have built something, especially if you're somebody like me who doesn't always read the instructions, and then you're left with parts left over and you're like, but where does this go? And you wonder why it doesn't work quite right. So then you take it all the way back apart and figure out where that one piece goes. We need to go back and read our instruction manual, and that's what spiritual practice does. So it exists. If that which is whole within itself is not already here, neither medicine, psychology, nor affirmative prayer could in any way benefit us physically. So that's all he's saying. It's like all of this stuff that we do works because that perfection already exists. That perfect idea of us already exists. And therefore, everything that we do can and will work. For whatever the medication or manipulation or emotional adjustment or prayer or affirmation may do, it does not and cannot create life. It may only reveal it. The perfection is already there. It's a matter of uncovering it. It is sometimes, to figure out who we are, it's about taking off all of the stuff that we thought we were, we've been told we were. We just made assumptions that that's who and what we are. It's about digging through the layers. It's about digging through the layers and going back and looking at that blueprint. This is what we mean when we say that every organ, action, and function of our physical body is rooted in a divine life, and that in this divine life there's no congestion, no wrong action, there's always perfect circulation, assimilation, and elimination. Blueprints work perfectly. And then we start to build them in the real world with, I shouldn't say the real world, I should say in the material world. We start to build them in the material world, and the material doesn't work exactly the way we expected it to. Well, the good news is you can try again. You can change the method that you are using. You can change the material you are using. You have choices. The blueprint's there. Go take a look. Through such statements, we are trying to sense the greater reality. So we are the material world, and yet there is something greater. There is a greater reality, a capital R reality. Something beyond the material reality with the lowercase r. It's that spiritual reality. Believing as we do in all of the healing arts that help humanity, we definitely affirm that towards which they and we all reach the spiritual center of things. Believing as we do in all of the healing arts that help humanity, the healing arts that help humanity, we definitely affirm that towards which they, the healing arts, and we reach is the spiritual center of things. We're all looking for that bliss. We're all looking at that bliss body. We're all looking for that blueprint. Therefore, I affirm that my body is the body of right ideas, the bliss body. It is now the body of God. Say that to yourself. Go look in the mirror and say, this is the body of God. Probably, because we talk about it. We talk about being godlings. We talk about being God in expression. We talk about being the hands and feet, the physical manifestation of God. You know, we are a part of God. We're made of God's stuff. Well, that means that this body right here The one that you're walking around in is the body of God. And that means if it's not working the way you would like it to, it can. You just want to go back and take another look at the blueprints. It's possible. And because we are science of mind, all avenues are open to you. That means working with medical professionals. That means working with nutritional professionals. That means working with, I'm going to use the word exercise professionals. Personal trainers or coaches or whatever. All of that. Every organ, action, and function of it is in harmony. Whatever does not belong to this body is eliminated. We have to be willing to let go of the junk. Whatever does not belong is removed. And sometimes we need medical professionals to do that. And that is, not only is it okay, but remember that the medical professionals are they are hands of God as well. All the energy and all the action and power and vitality there is in the universe is flowing through this divine creation now. Go look in the mirror and say that to yourself. Look in your eyes and say to yourself, all the energy, all the action, all the power, all the vitality there is in the universe is flowing through this divine creation. So now he has called us the body of God. He has called us a divine creation. My word does actually eliminate that which does not belong. In faith believing. In faith believing. If you believe your word can remove it, absolutely. And maybe your faith is guiding you towards a medical professional or a nutritional professional or, so it's not just, you don't have to just speak the words. You do have to speak the words, but then you also accept the guidance that comes with it. And there are radical healings that happen, spontaneous healings. There are people's words. That's Emma Curtis Hopkins, Hardball Metaphysics. And there are those who speak words and then are guided to the assistance that they need to work on that blueprint. We are science of mind. We believe in going to doctors when necessary. But we also believe that our word has power and that we should use it. It does establish the action of that harmony that already exists. So my word does actually eliminate that which does not belong. It does establish the action of that harmony that already exists. There is one life, perfect, harmonious, whole, complete. That life is my life now. That life is your life now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today. And that's one of the things that I love about this book, especially when you get into them where he's doing the 3 paragraphs. That third paragraph is a statement of affirmation. It is a statement of power. This is the way it is. Now, it's up to me to believe it. It's up to you to believe it. It is up to you to take it into your consciousness and recognize that you are a divine creation, that you are a body of God. You are a beloved child of God. And act accordingly. Whatever that looks like to you. And no, it does not mean eating rice cakes and drinking water. It does include chocolate cake. But it also includes, salads. It means doing what's right for you. And having a little fun is a good thing. Actually, having a lot of fun is a good thing. It's just sometimes we need to expand our definition of fun. So, according to your faith, be it unto you. And that is today. So what is our mission today? I would say that our mission today is to recognize that we are divine creations, to recognize that the bodies that we wear are bodies of God, to recognize that there is a perfection, there is a bliss body, there is a blueprint. And we have access to that blueprint because it's ours. All right? That's the mission today. Go look in your eyes and see God looking back at you. And then look in everybody else's eyes and see God looking back at you. Okay, beloveds, as always, I do encourage you, do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that is, whatever it looks like to you. Because you are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased always and forever. You deserve love. You deserve compassion. You deserve kindness, especially from yourself. And the more you give to yourself, the more you have to give out to the world. And the more that will come back to you. It's the way this world works. What you send out is what you get back. So, that is March 29th. I am going to move into the process of my day, but I am going to remind you to do something to engage your mind and your body today. We got sunshine. Go get a face full of sun. First thing in the morning, face full of sun, clears the cobwebs out, gets the hormones going, makes you feel awake and alive. And it's cool out there, so no, you might enjoy that. You might want to let it warm up a little bit before you open your windows and let some fresh air in, get that fresh perspective. But open the windows of your soul. Allow that breath of heaven to remind you you do live in heaven now. Always and forever. It is up to us to see it. Look for the good. And know that you are the good. All right, beloveds, do what you need to do to have a wonderful day. Drink some water and know Reverend David will be on with you around 5 p.m. on Facebook Live. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. And there is a book study tonight. I think they're still doing the Divine Audacity. If you're interested in that, email info@creativelife.org to get access to that. That one's hosted, I think it's at 6 p.m. It's hosted by practitioner John Rennie out of Tennessee. And if they're getting close to finishing that, they'll start another one. No worries. All right, beloveds, have a wonderful day.